Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to be diving into my top 5 best teams for the Ultra League. Ultra League is set to drop today at the time of recording this video alongside the Retro Cup. And there is a slight meta shift, a few changes here and there in the Ultra League. Should be a fun time as per usual. And we've got some really strong teams for those of us who will be in the Ultra League. And these teams very strong overall in the meta and should set you up to have the most success early on in the Ultra League rotation. So without further ado, let's dive right in. All right, guys, here we go. Kicking things off, we've got team number 1. Very powerful team that has actually been on many of my Ultra League top 5 best teams lists. Took a little break, I believe, last season and perhaps the season before that, but it is back in full force. It is none other than Walrein on the lead, Giratina and Cresselia in the back. Very powerful team. Walrein has a lot of play despite the Earthquake nerf last season. Still very strong, very solid, especially this season. So let's have a look at the scorecard here. And look at that, guys. I'm telling you, this team back on the map yet again for Season 17. We get a B for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and an A for consistency. Amazing scorecard here for Team 1. So Walrein on the lead, of course, has that coverage, very versatile. Registeel's going to take a bit of a team effort between Walrein and Giratina. However, Walrein can survive any one move from Reggie, whether it be the Focus Blast or the Zap Cannon. Most likely Zap Cannon, and can get to those Earthquakes, of course, and put pressure on Reggie. Reggie does survive too, so it might be beneficial to land that first one. Not likely they shield, as they know that they survive it, and then look to make the play into Giratina, play on from there with a Reggie lead. Any fighting type or any Pokemon that can deal fighting type fast move pressure, you're getting out of there into Giratina on the safe swap, and looking to play on from there. So whether that be Poliwrath, Virizion, Deoxys, Cobalion, of course, you're out of there into Giratina. We've got 2 excellent answers to the fighting types and pseudo fighters in the back. Obstagoon notwithstanding, of course, but I'm not sure how many Obstagoons we will see. But again, if you see an Obstagoon, a rare Obstagoon, team effort a little bit between Walrein and Cresselia. They can tag team a very rare Obstagoon. So everything else in between pretty straightforward. Jellicent, you can stay in there a little bit. You do very comfortably survive a Shadow Ball, get off an Earthquake, and then make the play into Giratina. An Earthquake landed should soften a Jellicent up enough for Giratina or Cresselia to finish it off. Something like I would say Talonflame, you can stay in there a little bit. Maybe tank the first move, definitely pressure shields and health with your Icicle Spears, and then you can get out of there into Giratina if you're making a team read, or you can just stay in there and soft lose lead. Same goes for Skeledirge. You just want to avoid those 2 with your Cresselia at all costs, especially Skeledirge if you were to see one. And yeah, everything else in between pretty straightforward. Very powerful and strong team. A little bit of a blast from the past with this team back in full force for Season 17. And yeah, so that is Team 1. With all that said, let's have a look at Team number 2. All right, my friends, up next, we've got Team number 2. Another very powerful team for the Ultra League. It leads with Giratina on the lead, Poliwrath, and Registeel in the back. Very powerful team here. Poliwrath got some amazing upgrading this season. It is now really good. It was really good last season, but my goodness, with Icy Wind and a buffed Scald, this thing has shot up to the moon. Holy smokes. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. And very good, very strong scorecard here for Team 2. We get a B for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and a B for consistency. Very strong scorecard for Team 2 here. So Giratina on the lead, going to be quite versatile. It's going to be handling all of those Talonflames we will surely be seeing, as well as everything else in between pretty much. It says you kind of lose the Swampert. That's kind of a little bit misleading. Generally, Giratina will do quite well up against Swampert. If things go awry, you do have Poliwrath in the back for a potential Swampert. But you're going to be winning up against opposing ghost types like Jellicent, Skeledirge. A lot of people are going to be breaking out the Tentacruels in preparation for Poliwrath, so leading Giratina makes perfect sense with this line. This team, very balanced and versatile. You can really lead with any of these three Pokemon. I just think coming out of the gate, Giratina is going to be the safest lead, as it has the most versatile play across the entire meta. There are some things that can give it some problems. Of course, a Pidgeot could be quite problematic. Something like that, I think that's just such a dominant matchup for Pidgeot that maybe going into Poliwrath and seeing what you can do from there might not be a bad idea. There's a good chance that you'll draw out a Virizion. They may stay in there, and that'd be great for you because you can get that out of the way for your Giratina. So that's one way to play that. But yeah, everything else in between pretty straightforward for this team. Something like a Tapu Fini. See, you really don't want to go right into your hardest counter for something like a Fini. You could just stay in soft lose lead and look to realign with Reggie onto something like a Tapu Fini. That's generally how I would play. That's probably the safest play there. But yeah, everything else in between, very, very straightforward. And of course, if you ever have any lingering questions that you don't get on the video, do hop into my Discord, absolutely free to join. Link in the description. You can ask me anything you want, and we always have a fun time on my Discord. So yeah, that is Team 2, Giratina, Poliwrath, and Registeel. And with all that said, let's have a look at Team number 3. All right, my friends, moving right along into Team number 3, another very powerful and strong team for the Ultra League. It leads with Charizard on the lead. We've got Registeel in the back, along with Cresselia. A lot of bulk to back up Charizard, so the shields can very safely go to Charizard, of course. Charizard with shields, next to unstoppable, as we all may know by now. So, scorecard, very strong, identical to team number 2. B for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and a B for consistency. You don't get much better than that. Let's have a look at these matchups here. So Charizard, as we all know, very strong on the lead in the Ultra League. It wins quite a bit more often than not because you have tremendous baiting potential. You can bait to get shields down, and the threat of Blast Burn, even resisted, is quite formidable, I must say, on Charizard. So the reason why you can go Talonflame in the place of Zard is just Charizard's better than Talonflame. It's more versatile, guys, more dynamic than Talonflame. But if you're itching to give Talon a try, you can certainly put it in the place of Zard on this team and do okay with it. But speaking of Talonflame, you're going to be winning with Charizard on all of those Talonflame leads. You're going to have some problems with Poliwrath, the team core broken a little bit by Poliwrath. And if you're seeing an excessive amount of those on the lead, you can flip-flop Charizard and Cresselia and lead with Cresselia in the place of Charizard. To get ahead of those Poliwrath leads, that would be fine. And that would allow you more flexibility to swap out of a Registeel lead, which you do win with Charizard as it's currently constructed here. That would help you get ahead of the Swamperts as well. You won't be so core broken by those water types. So if you're seeing a lot of water on the lead with this team, you can make the adjustment, put Cresselia up front and tuck Charizard in the back. Registeel is still a very solid safe swap option as it puts intense shield pressure on a lot of things in this Ultra League meta. What else did we have here? Skeleturge, not too bad. You can handle Skeleturge. Any Tentacruel, you can get out of there. Safe swap into Registeel. A lot of people are going to be running Tentacruel, by the way, as it does counter Poliwrath quite effectively. So be prepared for that. And I think that's about it with this team. Again, you can hop in my Discord, absolutely free to join and ask me anything you want if I don't answer any questions in this video. But that is Team 3 for now. Charizard on the lead with Registeel and Cresselia in the back. And with all that said, let's have a look at team number 4. All right, guys, we make our way to team number 4 here. Another very strong and powerful team here for the Ultra League. It leads with Tentacruel on the lead, Giratina on the safe swap, and Virizion in the back. So Tentacruel gonna have some very, very strong play this season in the Ultra League with the rise of Talonflame and Poliwrath. Tentacruel shuts that down like you wouldn't believe. Let's have a look at the scorecard here. And very good. Not bad at all for team number 4 here. We get a B for coverage, A for bulk, B for safety, and an A for consistency. Very strong scorecard here for team 4. Let's have a look at these matchups. So, Tentacruel on the lead. Gonna have some problems, of course, with the steel types like Registeel. That's why we've got Giratina in the back. As well as Virizion. Virizion can handle those steel types as well. And Alolan Sandslash could be quite problematic, but I'm not sure how many of those we will be seeing this season, unfortunately. With the rise of Poliwrath and Talonflame, Alolan Sandslash might be pushed out of the meta a little bit. But it will take a team effort, not impossible. Giratina, you've got a little bit of coverage there. It's recommended that you run Blizzard, and I would run Blizzard specifically on this team for Giratina, as the team's a little bit soft to an opposing Giratina as a whole. You can try and look to land that Blizzard or grab a shield advantage, then make a play into your own Giratina. That's how I would play that. This is the anti-Poliwrath line, guys. As you can see, Poliwrath has nowhere to go with this team. So if you want to shut out a Poliwrath, this team might just be for you. Very similar with Talonflame as well. We've also got 2 excellent answers to Talonflame / Charizard on this team as well. And Pidgeot can be a bit of a team effort, I will say. Tentacruel is going to be your best answer, so if you encounter it on the lead, you'll want to stay right there and play that out. Maybe even play out the ones, see what you can do with a Pidgeot. Hopefully get some clutch debuffs off on it. I wouldn't go any further than the ones with that thing. Hopefully you could thoroughly debuff it enough for Giratina or Virizion to come in and finish it off. Pidgeot generally has both of the Swords of Justice in the back anyway, so if you can just clear that Pidgeot, you're going to do fine with either Giratina or Virizion with the remainder of that team. I think that's about it. Gliscor, play that the same way as you would a Pidgeot. Team effort there. A little bit more manageable than Pidgeot, I would say, Gliscor. And I think that's about it overall for this team. Very strong team overall here for Team 4. Definitely looks like one that I would consider running myself, so keep a lookout for that. So that is Team 4. Tentacruel on the lead, Giratina on the safe swap, and Virizion in the back to close the game for you. So with all that said, that's Team 4. Let's have a look at team number 5. All right, my friends, last but certainly not least, we've got team number 5, another very powerful team here for this Season 17 Ultra League meta. We've got Cresselia on the lead. Poliwrath on the safe swap, and Gliscor in the back. As we all know, Cresselia does struggle up against steel types, and we've got two excellent answers to back up that very glaring weakness for Cresselia. And Cresselia is going to be very strong on the lead this season as well, with all the Poliwraths and all the counters for Poliwrath, by the way. So let's have a look at the scorecard here. Very strong scorecard. Overall here, we get a B for coverage, A for bulk, A for safety, and a B for consistency. You don't get much better than that. Let's have a look at these matchups here. Cresselia on the lead again. Going to be quite strong. Going to be getting ahead of the Poliwraths, and again, the counters to the Poliwraths that we will see. Most notably, Lantern, going to be a key counter to Poliwrath, which we may see an increased usage of as well. We also squeak out a very narrow victory up against Tentacruel, which is also going to be on the rise to address both Poliwrath and Talonflame. And speaking of Talonflame, we do have some problems with that thing, so you're going to be going into Poliwrath on the safe swap, and going to be looking to play on from there. Jellicent's going to take a team effort across the entire team, mostly with Cresselia and Gliscor. What you can do, of course, is try and chip away with those legacy grass knots. If you're really good on your counts and your anticipation, you will catch the Shadow Ball onto Gliscor and look to play on from there. That's how I would handle a Jellicent. What else here? Skeleturge, you're going to do fine. You've got answers to that in the back. And yeah, I think that's about it overall, really. That's all I really wanted to hammer home. That is Team 5, and that about wraps it up, my friends, for my top 5 best teams for the Ultra League. Should be a lot of fun. I'm excited to use Poliwrath. I had tons of fun with it last season. I can't imagine how good it's going to be this season. We will find out for sure on this channel. And again, if you have any lingering questions, concerns, hop on into my Discord. Absolutely free to join. Link in the description. You can ask me anything you want. And again, we always have a very fun time on my Discord. And yeah, should be fun kicking things off with the Ultra League this cycle. And we'll definitely see how it goes. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.